Welcome to the Know, I'm Mica. Yesterday, Xbox boss Phil Spencer made some headlines thanks to some comments he made that Microsoft has given him more leeway to reach out to gamers on other devices. Those comments were broadly interpreted as Spencer indicating that one day, Microsoft titles could make their way onto other platforms. And right on cue, Spencer is giving those quotes some more context today. Kind of. On Twitter, Spencer said when asked about the quote, "Today we ship Minecraft on other platforms. We all know that, no plans to expand this right now." So he's not really denying the way people interpreted the quote, but he's still saying that there's no plans to take it any further at the moment. In other Xbox news, analysts at research firm IHS Markit have now almost doubled their projections of the Xbox One X sales numbers in 2017, from 500,000 to 900,000. No doubt, good news for Microsoft on the day of the system's launch. It is a great time if you're a Zelda fan, with Breath of the Wild getting amazing reviews, and it might even get better. That's because, according to a job posting, there might be a new 2D Zelda game in the works. IGN reports that developer Grezzo, which did the 3DS remakes of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, is recruiting programmers for a new project. And on its website, the company has a banner that asks, "Would you like to make a legend together too?" And that's apparently the same sentence that the developer used when it was hiring for Majora's Mask. However, Game Informer noted that Grezzo's founder Koichi Ishii directed Secret of Mana at Squaresoft, which also used the word legend in its title. There's also the chance that they could be remaking Ocarina of Time and or Majora's Mask for the Switch, so who knows? Whatever it is, we are so interested. For those of you worried that Sony might have hit us with everything they've got at Paris Games Week, it looks like they've got a little bit of hype fuel left in the tank for PSX in December. The company just published a blog post this week announcing their plans for the event, promising that we'll finally see more of Media Molecule's dreams, plus we get to learn more about the recently revealed Ghost of Tsushima by Sucker Punch Productions, and probably one or two other surprises considering how that event has gone down in the past. PSX kicks off on December 9th. We've already had reports that Call of Duty World War II is selling way better at retail in certain territories than its predecessor, like 60% better, but now we have some stats about how many more players are jumping in as well. Get Hype reports that World War II on the PC is currently enjoying the series' highest player count since Black Ops 2 back in 2012. According to Steam charts, the game's current players topped out at 76,000 over its launch weekend. And if you're wondering how that specifically compares to Infinite Warfare, yeah, it's a jump of 395%. Yeah, that's a big percent. That game only brought about 15,000 players at its height, so things are going well in Call of Duty land for now. Bad news for all of you Fast and Furious style racing fans. Need for Speed Payback's reviews are dropping a few days out of its release, and they're not great. The game is rocking out at a 72 on Metacritic and a 71 on OpenCritic at the time of writing. The consensus amongst reviewers is that the game is a decent extension of the Need for Speed series, but ultimately succumbs to the grind because the reviewers say there is a lot of grinding in Payback. Games Radar writes in its 3.5 out of 5 review, Need for Speed Payback successfully returns to its Fast and Furious roots with a plum, but a focus on the grind and a beautiful but empty world means it ultimately falls short of greatness. And GameSpot says in its 5 out of 10 review, Need for Speed Payback's banal racing is only magnified by this focus on grinding. Fast and Furious, this is not, and that is a disappointing outcome. We've got some early reviews for Sonic Forces as well, and if you're a fan, cover your ears for a little bit. We'll tell you when it's over. Polygon's reviewer hated the new 3D Sonic from Sega, giving it a 5 out of 10 and saying it fails to be remarkable on every level. Yikes, the reviewer added, it doesn't advance the series design, nor does it handle classic 2D action as well as the recent Sonic Mania. Double yikes! Famitsu, on the other hand, was much more positive about the game, giving it a more respectable 35 out of 40. One reviewer loved the fact that you can create your own original character to play as, while another said the game has deep replay value. If you're interested, it's out today on the Switch, PC, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. Nintendo dropped a bunch of details today about the upcoming XENOBLADE Chronicles 2 for the Switch. In a special Nintendo Direct, we got a look at the trailer, which gave us some of the universe's backstory, as well as an introduction to a lot of the characters. Then we learned about the mechanics behind blades and core crystals, as well as their various abilities and how to level them up. We also got to see the game's world of All Rest, which has some really beautiful and varied landscapes. After running down the gameplay and giving us a tour, the Direct announced that the game will have an expansion pass, which will be available for pre-purchase starting today. It'll give you access to various DLCs like support items, new quests, a rare weapon, and a new story, all of which will release over the next year. You can pre-order the game now, and there's a special Pro controller that's available starting December 1st, the same day that the game releases. Oh, and starting on November 9th, there's a special Xenoblade Chronicle Rex costume that's available for Link if you complete a special side quest in Breath of the Wild. So that's worlds colliding. I'm pretty excited about it. Destiny 2's PC launch was a bit marred by reports of unfair bans, which Bungie's first denied and then sort of admitted to later that they'd made a mistake, and now those claims are surfacing all over again. Kotaku reports that a number of Destiny 2 PC players are, once again, saying they've been banned for the game without cause, including an unnamed AAA video game developer. For Bungie's part, community manager Cosmo responded to the newest claims of bans. We looked into it, our recent wave of protective security measures were reviewed extensively, and all were identified as having cheat tools running multiple times. So yeah, it's still your fault, guys, sorry. Superhero films are long. We all know this. Going back to 1978's Superman the movie, you'd be hard-pressed to find any comic book movies that come in under 2 hours. But the upcoming Justice League movie barely skates by and clocks in at 1 hour and 59 minutes, and we're learning now that was by design. In a story by the Wall Street Journal, it was revealed that Warner Bros. CEO Kevin Tsujihara issued a mandate that the runtime not exceed 2 hours, most likely in response to Batman v Superman's bloated 151-minute length, which was a major point of contention with most critics and lots of fans. Now, most filmmakers will tell you that a story determines its length, and it seems like this dictate is a little arbitrary, especially for the first film to bring all of DC's heavy hitters. But we'll see soon enough if it was indeed the right call. There's an old saying that the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and it looks like longtime rivals AMD and Intel have found a common enemy to team up against. The two announced a partnership to build a new chip line that will combine Intel's i7 core processor with Radeon GPUs from AMD. The idea is to make a processor that can handle higher-end games on much thinner laptops. AMD Vice President Scott Herkelman said that the new chip will offer gamers and content creators the opportunity to have a thinner and lighter PC capable of delivering discrete performance-tier graphics, experiences in AAA games, and content creation applications. Of course, their bigger competitor in the space is Nvidia, so it'll be interesting to see how the company responds. The processors, which are a part of Intel's Kaby Lake G line, are set to ship in the coming months. If you are a big Mass Effect fan, you probably already know that today, November 7th, is N7 Day, which was started 10 years ago as a nod to Commander Shepard's N7 rank. And usually that's a cause for celebration. I'd be wearing my Mass Effect jacket, but as you probably know, this year hasn't been so great for Mass Effect after the lukewarm response to Andromeda earlier this year. BioWare has canceled any DLC for the game, but fans were hoping for some sort of new announcement today about Mass Effect, but so far, all we've got from BioWare is a celebratory announcement thanking fans for playing, a few live streams, and some video from the game's team talking about the history of the franchise. BioWare did write in its N7 post, "We can't wait to share what's coming next," but yeah, so far we're still waiting. And I'll still be waiting to put on my N7 jacket until I hear something BioWare. So that's all the news we have for you today. Remember to comment on any of your favorite news stories in the comments below, and remember, for more news from every corner of the internet, like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to The Know. Still saying that there's no plans to take it any further at the moment. In other Xbox news, analysts at research firm, a whole lot. GamesRadar writes in its 3 out of 5 review.
3.5.
I see it.